Welcome to the 14th episode of Generation Gap Book Reviews. I'm Kristi the mom,
And I'm Lena the daughter.
and in this review, Lena is going to be reviewing.
The Fixer by Jennifer Lynn Barnes.
Did I catch you off guard?
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
Well, since you're going to be reviewing yours second, I wanted to get your name in there first at
Oh,
least.
yeah.
Because first, I am going to be reviewing a book called Last Girl Breathing by Court Stevens. This book just came out last year. I don't remember when last year, but sometime in 2024. And I heard about it because it was an ARC. I got an ARC of it, which means advanced reader copy, because I'm part of a website, or I'm signed up on a website that allows you to request the advanced copies of certain books that are coming out as a way to get reviews early and try to get buzz built for books. So I often wonder why they let me do this, because I don't have a huge audience. So I'm not probably building a whole lot of buzz, but they let me. So I requested this book because it's a suspense and mystery and kind of thriller, and I like those kinds of books, even though anymore I usually am pretty pessimistic going into them, because more often than not I end up disappointed. I feel like the suspense falls flat for me, but I still can't help myself if the premise is interesting. And it helped on this one that it's I believe it's young adult. Yeah, it's young adult, and it's published by Thomas Nelson, which is at least a Christian-esque kind of imprint. So I thought that might help a bit with because a lot of times if you're reading especially adult suspense, but even sometimes young adult suspense, thrillers and stuff, there's more situations that I'm not really a huge fan of, adult type situations, even when it's young adult. So I decided to try it out, and I am not going to get ahead of myself now. I'm going to first start with what it's about. So again, it's called Last Girl Breathing, and the main character's name is Lucy. And she lives in a town where there's a dam, and 8 years in the past from when the book begins, a very heavy rain caused a dam failure that actually swept away her younger brother. And now 8 years later, her stepbrother, whose name is Martin, has gone missing in the same area, same expanse of land that was underwater all those years ago when the dam had failed.
Well, that's sus.
So, and it is. Martin before this happened, had been bringing up some suspicions that he had that someone was behind the dam break 8 years ago, and that it wasn't just a natural occurrence. And so Lucy can't help but wonder, unsurprisingly, if his allegations, what he was starting to dredge up, was maybe related to his disappearance. And soon enough, she's swept away in an escalating mystery that involves multiple disappearances and some deaths.
I thought you were about to say she was swept away in the dam.
No, but I was using that as a...
Oh, okay. Pun intended.
I'm not going to continue until you ask me a question.
Mother, what do you like about the story?
I really did find myself caught up in the suspense of the book. The search for Martin, Lucy's stepbrother, questions about the dam break. There were flashbacks a lot to what happened in the past. Lucy has an ex-boyfriend that is acting very suspiciously. And there are a lot of characters in this story, because essentially Lucy and her family are part of a kind of a group of families that have tended to spend a lot of time together, like as families, like hanging out and going camping and stuff like that. It took me a bit to get to understand the kind of the dynamics of the group of families that spend a lot of time together. But once I got into it, I really didn't have a whole lot of problems keeping all these people straight. The author did a pretty good job of keeping them all separate from each other and reminding us of who different people were. There were some deep friendships that I felt were really neat. And as we have these glimpses into the history, into the day of the dam break 8 years ago, even knowing what's going to happen, because we kind of have an understanding of what happened all those 8 years ago, as we see the disaster coming in these flashbacks, there's suspense there. Even like the author did a good job, I think, of building up the suspense. Now, ask me what I didn't like about it.
Sorry, what did you not like about this book?
No, I did it that way because I was at the end of what I liked, and here's the thing. All of that I said, I was into it, I was enjoying it, it was suspenseful, and then it just sort of comes to a stop.
Oh.
The author made some, let's say, interesting pacing choices. So this book is one of those ones where it has parts. A little past the halfway point, part 1 ends. Part 2 is a page that says time has gone by, basically.
Oh, what?
Then part 3 picks up 2 years later.
Oh.
Not necessarily what you want in a suspense book.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of breaks the suspense. So it was a bit of a jolt. I understood the need for a time jump, but I'm not going to tell you that I could come up with a better way off the top of my head right now, but I feel like the author should have spent a little bit of time trying to figure out a way to not have such an abrupt break in the suspense. But I was still invested enough, and I still really wanted to know what was going on and find out the truth about everything that happened 2 years back and also 8 years before that. So that was a little frustrating, but I think I still liked the novel enough to keep going and to really want to know what happened. But therein lies my biggest problem of most suspense novels that I end up not liking, which unfortunately is probably more than half the ones I read. The end. If you're going to call a book a suspense or thriller, to me the ending is very important.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the ending of any book is obviously fairly important, but I think you really have to nail the ending on a suspense or thriller novel. And this one was just okay. Felt like, I mean, there was a twist thrown in, but I feel like it was more just like a twist for the sake of a twist. By the time, because it's been, especially since it's been 2 years and stuff since the main story happened, by the time we find out what's going on, I didn't really feel very connected to the characters and stuff. And I mean, I think at that point I was kind of half expecting what the ending was anyway. The story as a whole I liked, but there was enough that kind of ruined the flow for me and the suspense for me that I didn't like it as much as I would have liked to.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, what's the next question?
What did you rate the book?
I gave it 3.5 stars, which for me, I have a lot of books, especially ARCs that I've read, have fallen into this 3.5 spot where 3 feels too harsh. I liked it more than that, but 4 feels too much like I'm saying I liked it, and I liked it, but I didn't like it enough for 4. Anyway.
So then who do you recommend it to?
I think that a lot of other people would enjoy this book more than me, because I think this is one of those ones where my pickiness kind of came out. But I liked it enough that I recommended it to Lena already, because she also likes suspense and thriller, and she's a young adult.
Am I? I thought I was 2.
You thought you were 2?
I thought I was 2.
I mean, sort of young adult. I mean, young adult is sort of a nebulous age group, because there's also you can also label some books teen books, even though teens sort of fall into the young adult. Anyway, she's good enough. She's close enough to the right age group for this. And it is fairly clean overall. I don't remember any language. There were only minor references to like affairs and other things of that nature. Whoa. There was one fairly uncomfortable mention of a first kiss when Lucy was 13 that I didn't personally appreciate the way it was described. Oh. I don't remember if I recommended it to you right when I was done. I think you might not have been quite into reading as much at the time, so I think I recommended it to you at some point after you started getting back into reading it more.
You were like looking at your you might have been, for all I know, you were looking at your read list like, what can I recommend to Lena?
It's very possible. I've done that. So, and I think I can probably go back and take the other spot where I said something about being clean and all of that, and then saying that I think a lot of other people that like suspense novels would like it more than me. Mm-hmm. I also don't think you need to be a teenager or a young adult to enjoy this book. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, Lena, remind us of the name of the book you're reviewing.
Alright, I'm reviewing The Fixer by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Jennifer Lynn Barnes is one of my favorite authors now, I feel like, but I've only read a few of her stuff. So,
well, you're young. You haven't had time to read that many books yet. It's okay.
But what I have read. But, so, how I came across it, funnily enough, again, it was a book club book.
It's almost like I knew you were going to say that.
Oh my gosh.
And you saw it coming up on the list, and you went, I don't really want to read another book by her.
That's not true at all. So, like, I saw this, I was like, okay, that's interesting. The synopsis, when I read it, I was just like, Yeah, I can't. It was actually a very vague synopsis, which is kind of interesting. So,
Things need fixed, and they get fixed by the
no.
fixer. That's the synopsis.
So basically, our main character, Tess Kendrick, she's 16 years old. She lived on her grandfather's ranch after her parents died. And her sister Ivy kind of didn't really keep in touch with her.
So I take it Ivy's older sister?
Yeah, very older.
Very older. Is she like 80?
What? I think they're like, oh, I don't know how many years apart. But
her sister's old enough to be up and out of the house.
Yeah.
Apparently with a
very
career.
up.
Because, I mean, with a career, I take it.
Yeah. So basically, then Ivy comes because their grandfather has been having some issues. So she comes to pick up Tess, and Tess is not happy about that, obviously. So then,
Why, obviously?
Because they're not close at all, and she's kind of upset with her sister. So she takes her to Washington D.C., which is where she goes to a private school in Washington D.C., and she meets new people. You know, they're very children of very political people.
So, very political people.
I don't know.
Not just slightly political, very political.
They're political people, like the supreme leader.
The supreme leader of what exactly?
What are they called?
Supreme Court Justice?
Yes!
Don't yell into the microphone. I'm so sorry, people. The Supreme Leader of the United States. We just call him the president these days, but you know.
Vice President's daughter. I remember her. Court Justice's son. All these other political people, too. I think there's a marquis.
A marquis? That's like a British or European thing. We don't have marquis in America. Oh, wait.
I don't know. Never mind. I give up.
A very political marquis.
She basically unwillingly becomes a fixer for the high school, which she kind of takes after her sister, who is a fixer.
For the very political people?
Yeah.
That's totally a thing. I mean, I'm that's not sarcasm. That is a thing.
She fixes problems. There's like conspiracy theories and secrets and all this stuff.
Well, you know, it's a high school.
It's a high school, yeah. So yeah.
So what did you like about it? And you can't say everything. You have to be specific.
It was very interesting meeting new characters and just learning about their stories and different personalities. Tess was, I don't know. I liked Ivy, but I didn't always like her. I mostly liked her. It's hard to explain what I mean by that, but yeah. She makes new friends, and that's all neat. And apparently, for you, Mother, because I think you've watched this show, right? People, I think, kind of compare this to Veronica Mars.
I mean, I've been thinking it.
Really?
Yeah, you talk about her fixing things for her classmates and the secrets that run in the school and stuff. It definitely sounded fairly Veronica Mars to me.
Well, there's also a mild love triangle in it. It's kind of hard to see, but I mean, that was kind of interesting. What I remember, I read this the end of the year, and then I went to a party for Christmas on New Year's Day, and I was hiding in a room with my step cousin, and we were and I read it. I read the last few chapters out loud to her because I like to tell her about books because we read very different books. So that was a lot of fun. I remember that because it was suspenseful, which is what I'm trying to say. It was very suspenseful, and there's a plot twist that, dude, I saw it coming, but I really liked the plot twist, and the climax was good. I liked a lot about this book.
That's good.
And one of the characters, Asher, he's kind of introduced. He's just humorous. There's other humorous people too, but he's who I think of most when I think of humor in that book.
Is there anything you didn't like about it?
I feel like there was a lot of uncertainty, and just Tess was a very, very, very mistrusting. So I feel like she had a few issues there. she did a few things I didn't really like. I was just like, why are you what?
So what did you rate it? Not like I couldn't guess.
5 stars.
And who do you recommend it to?
I mean, it's young adult thriller, and like, so people who enjoy that kind of stuff, and young adults obviously. So like, I feel like they're 13 and up at the earliest, maybe 14. But there's
So
some
not me.
violence. I mean, older.
You said young adults.
Adults are good too.
Oh, thanks. It's good to know you think we're good.
But there's a little bit of violence. There's some language, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember anymore. So it's not like clean.
Is this part of a series?
Oh yeah, it's a 2-story series. So it's a duology. I have not read the second one yet. I plan to, but that one's called The Long Game. So
okay.
it does end on a cliffhanger. So.
Oh, so it's definitely part of a series then. I didn't mention, I don't know if it matters or not at this point, but the Last Girl Breathing is not part of a series. Well, I guess that's it.
That's it. Oh,
join us next time when we are going to be reviewing The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by Mary Ann Schaffer and Annie Barrows.
Until next time, I'm Kristi.
And I'm Lena.
And this is
Generation Gap Book Reviews.